Hello, my name's Michael and welcome to my channel. I want to do a review of Honey, I Killed the Cats by Dorota Masłowska, translated from the Polish by Benjamin Paloff. And this is an arc that I received from Deep Vellum, so thank you to Deep Vellum. I'm going to try my best to do this review. This is my third time recording this, and for some reason the first one didn't quite transfer properly to my computer, so for some reason it got lost, and the second time looks like it didn't record at all. So hopefully I'm able to hit all the points I want to hit with this review, because it's getting a little frustrating having to review it again. But Dorota Masłowska is a very young Polish writer. She's had a stellar literary career already. She published her first book at the age of 19. It was called Snow White and Red Russia. That was the English title. I won't even try and pronounce the Polish title. And that book went on to win the Nike Literary Award, which is one of Poland's more prestigious literary awards. And hopefully Nike is the right pronunciation for that award. I don't speak Polish, so I'm not quite sure. But since then, she's written 6 books. I believe this is her latest book, and 3 of her books are now in English. That's including Honey, I Killed the Cats, which has come out recently. And the reason why I wanted to talk to you about this book is because there's some really interesting elements of it. The basic story of it is about these 2 very independent women. They kind of got this friendship, but kind of complicated. They kind of compete with each other and kind of have this very dysfunctional friendship, let's say. It explores these 2 women and basically the effects the modern world has on them. And I want to read something on the back of this book because I think it'll set up what I want to talk about and give you an idea of this book. It says a incomparably hilarious satire of modern consumer culture with everything from personality to religion commodified, like Virginia Spence meets Blade Runner. And that's an interesting quote because I think we've got that transgressive style of the author, who is probably best known to everyone for Vernon Subject. And then we've got Blade Runner, which I believe was set in 2019. So is it a science fiction type futuristic thing, or is it a contemporary modern day look at consumer culture? And for me, I think it's a modern day look. I think it's not that science fiction heavy. I feel like it's more about our current situation, maybe a little amplified. But one thing I need to talk about first before going further is this idea of satire, because there's something that really ticks me off, really annoys me when people write or talk about satire. And it's kind of a bête noire for me, and that is this idea where people say, this was meant to be a satire, but I didn't find this book funny. And that annoys me because there are a couple of different types of satire. Just a quick lesson here. There is this playful satire, which is making fun and making a lighthearted jab at a current issue or situation. But there's also a satire known as juvenalian satire, which is scornful, which is aggressive and angry. The kind of maybe could associate it with black humor. This is the kind of satire where you're looking at social issues or something and really being aggressively angry at the situation. Examples of this would be something like A Clockwork Orange or American Psycho, where it is very transgressive in its satirical nature. And I think Honey, I Killed the Cats kind of blends those 2 satires, and that's why we have back of the book mention Virginia Depends. But I think this book kind of fits sort of like American Psycho, where it's got that satirical look at consumerism, and in American Psycho there's this whole element of fashion and status and the way we appear to the world. And Bret Easton Ellis kind of sends the reader really psychotic with his constant naming of fashion labels and what he's wearing. And this kind of does that in a similar way, but instead of fashion labels, they're kind of looking at advertising jingles with that really irritating type style of satire. And with consumerism, it's looking at the effects that American pop culture has on Poland and these two women. It's also looking at this whole culture around exercise and yoga and being fit and diet culture, and just looking at some of the harmful elements of that and how much it can affect these women's self-esteem and their relationship with people around them, and how much of it turns them against each other in this kind of competitive nature. And I found that really interesting. There is that playful satire as well. And I kind of would compare it to a book like Super Sad True Love Story by Gary Steingard, which is another look at consumerism, and that's like a dystopian where major corporations have taken over the world, and we kind of had that element in this book. There is a plot in this book. It's not the greatest. I didn't find it that entertaining. I was more focused on this satirical element, this world that she's created and what she's trying to say about our world. And I've read this book after reading Duck's Newberry Report, so I had in mind, don't need to focus on the plot. I just want to focus on what the underlying story is, what she wants to say about our world. And I guess because Duck's Newberry Report is very character driven, there's no plot. Going into this where there is a big focus on the plot, I kind of wasn't feeling it. I wasn't really in the mood to care about the plot. So I focused on the satirical elements, and I really got a lot out of that. I really found that fascinating to explore. This whole idea that American pop culture influenced the world so much that all their trends are kind of making their way throughout the world and changing the culture around them. And that's really interesting to explore. And that's one of the main reasons I really liked Honey, I Killed the Cats. I feel like I rushed this review a little bit because this is my third attempt, but I feel like that's what I want to say about this book. And if you have read it or are interested in reading this book, let me know. I'd like to have a conversation with some people regarding this book. And I'll leave it there because I am sick of talking about this book for today. But if you want to find me elsewhere, all my links to social media are in the description below. And try the book if it sounds interesting. And I hope you go out and read more of the world. Thank you for watching.